All right, boom. Let's get it. Welcome to The.Ugly Truth Podcast, where I speak with some amazing people that do some amazing things. But as you know, everything that glitters is not always so gold. There's always a little bit of ugly inside the beauty of things. And so today we're going to speak with one of my awesome guests. His name is Adam, but he goes by Diesel. As you can see, he's taking up half of the frame. Okay. But he's not going to just
I got a little posture. I'm a little slumped right now. But
I mean, these chairs ain't like, they're not lazy boys, but they
good for posture.
we're gonna work it out. Yeah. Y'all know the Ugly Truth Podcast is sponsored by none other than The Ugly Brand. Go ahead and get your gear at www.theuglybrand.com. That's www.theuglybrand.com. Adam, welcome to The.Ugly Truth.
Hey, I appreciate you inviting me.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm loving this setup. I'm loving what you're doing and reaching out to the community and
Absolutely.
really good people out here that have power in this world and producing something, making movement,
Yeah, man. It's all about that. I think that our community, we need that. Definitely adjust if you need to. There you go, King. Our community needs that. We have so much potential, but I feel like we're so far behind on things. And we have to figure out a way. I feel like the only way to get where we need to be is in the community. Like, we have to do a community reach out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or outreach. They call it outreach. I said reach out. Y'all don't judge me. I'm allowed to say what I want to say.
Outreach is more that corporate term,
corporate
but you know what I mean.
There's
But
nothing corporate about the Ugly Truth.
Yeah,
It's nothing corporate about this brand. Not yet. I don't even know if I ever wanted to be corporate. Like, that's the whole point of entrepreneurship.
It's all about the end game, right? Somebody buying you out.
Period. That's it. That is so true.
Yeah,
that is so true.
Talking to a business.
Some people don't realize that they want to stay in their business, and I'm like, yo, it's not. It's not the point. It's not how that's supposed to be.
It's not.
It's not. All right, man. So look, you got a story, man. I know right now that you are releasing an app. Okay, you're gonna be releasing an app. Tell me about that app.
So the app is releasing on iOS and also Android. So Apple and Android consoles. It's mainly for mobile. It won't be on iPad or anything like that, but it definitely will be accessible to your phone, and a PWA version for website. The app in itself is an app that basically is covering all levels of fitness, and also providing nutrition, and also providing mindset. So basically mental health, what a lot of people don't really tie in too much of or get too in depth about it, or just don't really look at it at all, because mental health has a lot to do with motivation and how you go about things in the daily life. But this app is also, obviously, you said my background as of IFBB Pro, and I went to school for exercise science, but it's not only just covering just your general fitness, which I want it to, and it will benefit the general public, but it also will cover yoga, boxing, performance training. So anybody that's trying to become an athlete or is an athlete at the collegiate level, high school or professional, or somebody that wants to learn boxing, or somebody that wants to develop their flexibility in yoga, and also produce more strength training, aesthetics, and benefit with nutrition set along with that. We're trying to make it a one-stop shop on this app.
Man, so you said a mouthful, so I got a lot of questions on a couple of things, right?
Please, shoot.
One thing you said was no matter the level, right? You played professional football, correct?
Correct. I play some AFL, and also here and there with CFL, collegiate level. Obviously, the door for that opportunity ended very quickly for me. It's a very dog-eat-dog world when it comes to professional football. And when that door closed for me, I really wanted to basically work on plan B. And plan B was to coach people to get into the league.
Right.
And I also worked with ex-NFL players, which is now my brother-in-law, Charles Grant, who played for the Saints, Dante Stallworth, a few others. So I've helped them also to stay healthy when they were no longer playing. Other collegiate athletes, even celebrities like some of big owners that in this area, but also like Fantasia's manager, things and such like that.
So, Fantasia.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something.
He stays out here in Bowie, actually. I ain't really meant to put him out there.
No, I mean, we don't know. I don't know his name, and I'm not about to go and find out.
Small world, though.
I love Fantasia.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, you have some people who will spend like thousands or a hefty price to go and see like Coachella. I don't even know what Coachella is, but like Beyonce and stuff like that. Beyonce, this is no pun intended to you, sis. Okay.
Not at all.
I love Fantasia. I genuinely love Fantasia.
She got a voice.
Listen, and I'll get into conversations with people about, range and stuff like that. First of all, I can't sing. Okay, now I can try, but I can't sing.
You can sing?
No, I cannot.
You tried though?
Oh yeah, I'll do it. Listen, I'll bust a note and be all the way.
Can we hear one?
Nah, wait a minute now. No, wait a minute now. Listen, you talking about the ugly truth? Yeah, that's gonna be one ugly truth you got right there, buddy. But I genuinely love Fantasia. I love her. I slid in her DMs to see if she wanted a hoodie. She ain't respond yet, but it's cool. I be sliding a lot of celebrities.
It'll come around. That's it.
Yeah, I love it. But so that's amazing. So okay, so you've done that. You played professional for a little bit. Okay, things didn't work out. So now you refocus your energy into, okay, this is what I still know. First, what school did you go to?
I actually went to a D3 school out in North Carolina called Methodist University, and great school, great exercise science program. Only reason I went there was just based on family.
Sure.
And one of the biggest things about it is that, it was a lot of opportunity coming out of there based on what I was trying to do in the exercise field. And I learned a lot there. And also when it came to track and field, I also played and performed track at that school. And the head coach at the time was an Olympian. And so he did 110 hurdles. So I wanted to really basically learn from him and potentially get into doing track and field on a professional level, and let that be a backup plan at the time.
Right.
So, it was a lot that was going into it. I was actually about to go to Jacksonville University because I was raised in Jacksonville, Florida at the time, but I was born up here in the DMV area, but raised down there in Florida.
Right.
And so I was about to go to JU and ended up just going to Methodist University.
Right.
It just made more sense.
Yeah, that's understandable. I ran track in high school.
Oh, nice. What you run?
Yeah, I'll say 800 and below, but the 400 was my thing.
Mid distance. Yeah, same here.
Yeah, so but I wasn't running nobody's hurdle.
Yeah, I wasn't. not me.
Listen, the level of coordination or the lack thereof.
Yeah, same. Not happening.
Yeah, I'm not running nobody's hurdle.
Yeah.
So that's dope. Okay, so you went to college. So you say you went to school. So it sounds like you already had a plan that no matter what, exercise science was going to be what you wanted to do in some way, shape, or form.
The biggest plan was to really, like I said, I was working backwards, man. Like I was really thinking about, like, one of the motivators for me was this guy named Joe DeFranco out in New Jersey, Caucasian guy that really started working with a lot of collegiate athletes and a lot of NFL guys, and he had his own gym and blew up from that. This is before even this was a thing,
right?
And, gyms and all that other stuff. So I really wanted to own my own gym, and one of the reasons what motivated me to come out with an app was the fact that, yes, having a gym is cool, and not to say that I won't do that sometimes.
Sure.
But, having a set location, a physical thing, for people to be motivated by and be in a set community of it is cool. But I really feel like the internet always wins, right?
Bro.
So having a gym in your pocket, was the biggest motivator for me when I decided to come out with this app.
Yeah, that's crazy. You talk about that. I'm in a entrepreneur call. I'm on an entrepreneur call every morning, and today we spoke with someone about digital, pretty much becoming a digital millionaire. And he literally said subscription-based business, man, it's crazy if you market it right.
It's key.
And if you think about it too, gyms were shut down during COVID. You know what I mean? People were eating a lot during COVID. And so it's like, it's kind of like a no-brainer, because there are some people, kind of much like myself, where, I'm afraid to go into a gym. I'm not afraid. I just don't want to go into a gym. I'll go into a small gym, like a privately owned situation. But like, for me to walk in a Gold's Gym or Planet Fitness right now, it's just a no. And I don't know if it's the mass thing. Like, yo, I was in the airport the other day and I tried running. It was hot. It was hot, and I was out of breath. Like it was a lot. And I'm like, yo, how is people working out like that?
And I'm the one of the ones that wear shades in the airport, so it's just like
it was a lot happening.
Like fall coming up.
Yeah, it was a lot happening. Yeah. I'm like, yo, and I sat down, and here it is, like this mask is going up my nostrils.
Yeah,
all fast. It was a lot. Yeah, so anyway, but in regard to motivation and consistency, I have to have like a trainer. I got to be with someone who's like, okay, boom. I don't work out more than 3 days a week. Like I used to work out. I got to get back on it because we got to
change that.
I know. Yeah, but does it have to be more than 3 days a week?
This is the thing. This is the science behind the anatomy of the body. Our bodies are amazing specimens, right? Mm-hmm. We're used to. You got to think at the beginning of time. We're used to scavenging or just being scavengers for fruits and berries and stuff like that.
Right.
And walking miles for saber-tooth tigers to go ahead and hunt for and feed our families with that. Our bodies literally can do anything. We can withhold and withstand insane temperatures, go through different type of altitudes. So you got to ask yourself, like, my body can really force adaptation. You know what I mean? When you are trying to force adaptation, when you're trying to progress at something, no matter if it's mentally, physically, spiritually, it doesn't matter. You can progress. Right. Me personally, I mean, I'm a spiritual guy and also a biblical and universal guy. So I'm a little bit of everything, So, me, I like to see that. All right, like I have my third eye, but my third eye progressed from life. It progressed from opportunity and things and such like that. So not to lose the point, but you would be surprised that 2 times a day or 2 times a week, 3 times a week, your body's going to start feeling monotonous. It's going to start to feel like it needs more because the fact that you are starting to adapt to that.
To those 3 days.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's going to get to a point that you have to, level that up. Now, there is a threshold. There is a cap to where how long and how often you should train. And usually, like, I don't really push my clients to do no more than 6 times a week. You know what I mean? So at the minimum, yes, start off with 2, start off with 3, get your bodies used to it, understand the feeling, get the itch to want to
do more,
to want to work out.
Yeah. I can understand that mental. Like, even if I said, okay, I went to the gym 3 times a week, I would probably get to a point where I felt like, okay, there's 2 more days or what have you, where you might be able, like, yo, you can at least go run.
Yeah,
you can at least go, speed walk, whatever you want to do.
Yeah,
because you're like, dang, I'm missing this extra day.
Something simple as that can progress so much, and you just, like I said, we're so used to being. We came from the beginning of time where we were cavemen. You know what I mean? Where we had to be active in order to survive.
Yeah,
and now we're at this point in our lives and the century that we're in, where comfortability is current, you know what I mean? And we can sit on the couch, we can chill out, we can not have to be as active in order to still have a livelihood, in order to still survive. So we got fucking Uber Eats, we got Instacart, you know what I mean? We don't got to go to the grocery store anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Like, my ass goes, man. Listen, this thing about me. I'm still gonna go.
We got Mirror, we got
What if you don't pick the right cucucber? It makes me upset. If I ask for cucumbers and you give me a small joint, I'm gonna be mad.
It's a whole other conversation.
Okay,
like
so I'm not by myself.
No, not at all. Because
I went during COVID. Like during COVID, I did up my Instacart situation because but like now I'm like, because after a few small cucumbers, I was like, okay,
it's a wrap.
We can't keep doing it.
Yeah, you can't.
It was bothersome. It was bothersome.
It depends on where you go to, though. Like,
that's true.
Safeway,
I'm here in Capitol Heights. I'm gonna. We in the hood. I don't.
I forgot what it's called. Food. Is certain areas have certain things provided.
Absolutely.
Like my little brother, he used to work for this company. Basically, he does reviews for all of the expiration dates for different grocery stores.
Ooh.
And I train clients out in Tyson's Corner. And so that's like, the Beverly Hills of the DMV.
It is. It's far. Yeah. It is for. I was getting ready to say that's where rich people live at.
Yeah. Loudoun County is the richest county.
Yeah.
And, I mean, even though Tyson's Corner is Fairfax, but it's right next to Loudoun County, which is the richest county in Virginia.
Yeah.
And not to knock anything, PG County is the richest black
Black.
community,
Mm-hmm.
you know, in the nation.
Mm-hmm.
However, though, you know, Tyson's Corner, there's a
It's
Whole
different.
Foods out there,
It's different.
and they by far don't have anything expire. You know what I mean? Like everything is on point to a T. You go to these areas that, you know, are low income or just dealing with poverty and stuff like that. Yeah, the communities or these corporations, they're not worried about it. You know, they're not trying to set up grocery stores for you to have high quality food. You look at your produce aisles at a Giant somewhere in, I don't know, the middle of like Southeast, and then you compare it to, you know, somewhere in Tyson's or Loudoun County. The color of the food, the look of the food, the expiration of it, everything's completely different. You know?
Basically, I need to start grocery shopping out in Virginia.
I mean, yeah, or somewhere that's, you can probably, if you play with it, you're out this way, so somewhere more in Capitol Hill. You know what I mean? That's where it's a little bit.
I'll take the ride though,
you know?
because one thing I realized, and this is probably about. I hope this isn't petty, but their grocery stores out in that area, in the Virginia area, are so much more organized.
Oh yeah,
and they're cleaner,
and it's so much more provided.
Yeah,
like it's annoying.
It is. It is
annoying, but it's how our nation works, and we feed who feeds the nation,
right?
You know, people who are on welfare checks, people who are on EBT or WIC. You know, you get the bottom of the earth. You know, you get scum. You know, and that's just because of how the system is set up.
Right.
And you got to pay attention. You got to pay attention to what you put in your mouth. I mean, like obviously, there's more McDonald's and more KFCs around those areas where it's, you know, not as provided or good nutrients in a certain grocery store. You go out to Tyson's Corner, you go out to places where it's a little bit more income, you have better options. You have more vegan spots. You have more places that it's just more options. I'm not even gonna get just huge in the detail of it, but it's just a much better option to play with. Now, don't get me wrong, there's still McDonald's on every corner, but you have options. You know,
right.
They ain't a liquor store on every corner,
right.
That's feeding you to stay within a system, and you got to think above. You got to think more and understand that health is key, and understand that us, you know what I mean, we need to make sure that we are putting ourselves in a position to have a higher expiration date. You know what I mean? Have a position where we're not dying off at a certain age, you know, and we as a community, we need to pay attention to that, you know. And not only do I preach that to everybody, but I definitely preach that to my same race, because we are the minorities, and that's what it is at the end of the day.
Yep.
You know, it's reality. It's reality. Yeah. Unfortunately, and there's no discrimination. You know, I'm not racist at all, but it's you know, like my girlfriend's Caucasian, you know, she's white, and she realizes what's out there and what's not, you know, and she understands, you know, the difference between the two, you know, and, you know, we all have to understand that, you know, you just have to put yourself in a better position to win as a human being. And also you have to take care of your generation, because if we focused on just one thing and that's just ourselves, we just feeding our mouths, you're not setting an example. That's true. An example. It's all about generation wealth. It's all about generation health. That's true.
Generation. Yeah. There's one thing that's preached too that I'm learning in the entrepreneurial space, that we always talk about generational wealth and things like that, but we really, really do have to focus on our health, and that's more than just physical. It's mental. And so I love what you said earlier in regard to the app being focused on having a level of focus of motivation, but mental health as well. Because especially amongst our Black men,
I will preach a whole book to y'all. Like it's a challenge, man. Yes, we are the bottom of the food chain.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say it, but we are literally so used to fighting.
Yes.
Like, I'm gonna leave it right there. We are so used to fighting all the time, to a point that it is okay to deal with BS. You know what I mean? It's okay. We expect it. You know what I'm saying? And yes, you should expect, even, it doesn't matter what race, who you are, you should always expect a speed bump in your lifestyle, wherever you're trying to progress to.
Right.
But we, as Black men, we expect the worst.
Y'all come out with a speed bump when you come out the womb, though.
Yeah.
Like, that's just a fact.
That's just
like,
how
I
it is.
think that, and I had someone, I can't remember who it is. I think it might have been on an interview, Oh no, I was on a live with my brother Damien, and he asked the question: do black men have it worse or black women? And I said, I don't know if I could ever relate to that because I don't know what it's like to be a black man. The black race, I feel, is feared to begin with, period. But a black man, yeah. But a black man, there's a level of fear that's there. And I don't know what it's like to walk. I know what it's like to walk out of the house black. I know what it's like to walk out of the house as a black woman. I know what it's like to be a black woman in corporate. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it's like to get, even as a black woman, I still have a level of, I don't know if the word respect is right, but if it came down to me getting pulled over, there's going to be
it's almost once a month for me.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
And do you live in Virginia?
I live in VA.
Why you live there?
It's just choice, honestly. I mean, like I've lived in Maryland quite a few times, but it's just choice.
It's a better choice, yeah. I know
and
that
business, honestly.
That true. Yeah. That too. I know that it's harder for you guys.
It's a situation where it's like I try not to. This is the thing. You have to, as a black man, you, like I stated, you get to a point where you feel like anything, the world is against you. Mm-hmm. That's what you feel just from the jump. And yes, you're completely right, young man. Like the world is against you. You're the most copied. Like I'm not, how Kanye acts, I'm I'm not against him on any way or form or fashion why he is how he is. You know what I'm saying? To the point of where he got himself to, he had to scratch and claw, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And all the judgment or whatever the case may be. And why he has mental issues or whatever the case may be, because he's been through a lot, Mm-hmm. And if you compare, if any other black man was in his role, they probably would have had the same situation. Yeah. But my thing is how you talk.
Sure.
Is who you're around. You know what I mean? Those little things will separate you and get you out of that system. Those little things will put you in a better probability of success. It's if you're articulate, if you know what you're talking about, if you surround yourself around the people that have different income, you know what I mean? Like, don't surround yourself around people that make 50,000. Surround yourself around people that make 100,000. Surround yourself around people that make 500,000. You're gonna start to learn different things, and you're gonna start moving a different way, and then people start gonna look at you differently. You're gonna start dressing differently. You know what I mean? You're gonna start copping things that's different rather than everything's always being about a flex. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. And that's where as a black man, we always feel like we got to prove something.
Right.
And that's not what it is. We don't need to prove anything because we are the most copied race and gender in the world. All we got to do is just be, and we are individuals that are literally genetically blessed, that are strong, that are mentally there, that are super creative. Half of the things that we see day to day are created by a black individual. You know what? Door hinges, peanut butter, whatever the case may be. We know how to make convenience. But if that's all the case, why do we have to prove ourselves so much? Because we're trying to keep up with the Joneses. Now, if you look at different races, they're not worried about themselves. They worried about trying to develop generation wealth, trying to develop generation health, and trying to make sure that their family and the families behind them are situated and set up. They're not worried about the other families across the street or whatever. I mean, yeah, you might have some people that, judge or whatever like that, but they're not really so focused on that piece of it. They're not focused on the materialistic stuff. The materialistic stuff comes based on your generation wealth. Right. If that if you situate yourself and set your kids up, they will be in that next tax bracket where they already have generation wealth and they flexing because they have it. They're not flexing because they're trying to go ahead and show that they can be whoever they're trying to be. It's like everything is so based off of social. I love social media. Don't get me wrong. I won't say I love it, but I do it because it's for my business.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But I do not get caught in the tornado or cyclone of just trying to look a certain way. You know what I mean? Like you got to be real with yourself. And once you figure out who you really are and understand, like, yo, this is who I am as a person. This is where my level is at. That's when you start to really understand, like, all right, this is the opportunity that I have to go ahead and fix the issues that my family did wrong. Right. and I understand that what they did wrong, so I can go ahead and take these further steps forward, so I can go ahead and set up my family. We're so selfish that we don't even want to go ahead and set our own families up because we're working so hard to go ahead and put ourselves somewhere in that food chain.
Right.
And it's just like, all right, we have the opportunity to go ahead and move up, but it's just how you deal with it, how you understand how the world works. Get off of the media, get off of just feeling some type of way of this person's ahead or this race is ahead. Just run your own race.
Right.
Just run your own race.
Yeah. That's it. Social media is something that I always say can be, if it wasn't for my business, I probably would have been off of social media by now. Because people don't realize how conveniently disturbing it can be if you allow it.
Right.
It's a whole extra layer of mental toughness that you have to possess to really not allow the things that you see deter you or change your mindset about things. You know what I mean? And then you have these people who get into a place of comparison. You know what I mean? How come I'm not there yet?
Everybody's only posting the positive stuff.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You don't a lot of people are not posting their ugly truths.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of people are not being fully transparent of what's happening behind closed doors. So social media definitely is a tool.
It's a great tool.
And you have to use it as such, not entertainment. Right,
and not to absorb everything.
Everything.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's a great source to be motivated by. It's a great source to have almost real media or the real truths and the ugly truth about the world today, because obviously CNN or Fox, they feeding y'all bullshit.
Yeah.
But when it comes to, different perspectives, you can obviously put a story together. But it's just, don't get so tied into what your best friend doing or your best friend doing or your ex or whatever the case may be. Don't get so tied into that, because the moment you start focusing on yourself, you start leveling up so quickly. And I speak that on facts, because the fact that I've been through that personally.
Right.
And I used to be somebody that used to compare myself continuously. And I used to be worrisome about every little thing, why I'm not here, why I'm not there. The moment I actually stopped caring about where I'm at currently and start just focus on doing the work and promote myself, promote my business, be consistent, start to develop a craft from it, rather than trying to go ahead and just go for it all. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all about consistency.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's when you see change in your life, and that's when you start to move up in that tax bracket, when you start to really be more applied to yourself and your own lifestyle rather than somebody else's.
Right. Man, shoot. We could have ended it on that, but I'm not going to. That was a bar. And I hope that whoever's watching you guys, because it's so true. It's so true. You have to be okay with where you are, and you have to enjoy your journey. My journey is you're not going to be able to run my race. I'm not going to be able to run your race. And this is one thing that I love. I ran track in high school, and I was always coached to always run your race.
I was always told the same thing.
Run your race. I never looked beside me. You know what I mean? I ran a 4x4, 400. I ran the anchor in a 4x4. And I never was bothered by whatever position my third leg bought me that baton. I just knew that I need to get out on the first 100. I need to relax, settle in on the second 100. Third 100, you need to lift more. Fourth, you need to bring it home. Whatever that looked like, that's what it's going to be.
Just run your split.
Yeah, that's it.
Run your split.
So that's awesome. So okay, so you have an app coming out. Your app, you said, is focused on, it'll give you the opportunity to, you have the motivation, you have a mental health space, which once again, I love that, especially for our Black men.
And I'll go more in depth as time develops. And please understand that an app is not just I see an app as an album, but an app is not a situation where, and even albums now on Apple Music, they drop more songs within an app or within an album, excuse me. So even with the app in itself, you still have, I'm still going to probably update things and provide more opportunities. So it's not just like, all right, it's right there. That's it. There's always going to be a 2.0.
Development.
There's always going to be a 3.0. This is an ongoing thing, people.
Right.
Diesel Sport is here to last for a very long time, and the app is going to benefit a lot of people. And I want more feedback. I want people to tell me what they like and dislike. Right. So there's going to be more things tied into that. I want it to be the next Peloton. I want it to be the next Mirror. And y'all mark my words, because it's going to get there.
Yeah, that's it. I am not going to be one of the trainers on the app. I just thought I'd let you guys know. I'm not.
You could be a testimonial.
I could be. Listen.
You know what I mean?
I'm gonna be a testimonial because
you on there.
I ate a whole hand pizza today. I ain't gonna lie to you, okay? And it was so good. It was so good.
Is it gluten-free?
No. I don't know.
Did you get goat cheese?
No. Oh my gosh, I never had it before. I actually got double cheese on mozzarella. I'm gonna lie to you. I'm gonna change my ways, y'all.
There you go.
I'm gonna change my ways,
Progression.
man. I'm gonna change my ways. I'm not gonna say I'm never gonna eat pizza, because pizza's my favorite.
And that's unrealistic. I'm never gonna say don't ever eat pizza.
Yeah, it's just moderation.
It's just moderation,
and to get the right stuff.
It's all about probability.
I gotta learn that stuff though.
8 or let's say 5 days of eating healthy. 2 days you can kind of play around.
That's normally how I don't eat horrible. Mm-hmm. I need to increase my water intake. I do know that.
We all do.
I need to eat more. I need to eat more. I don't, like today I've only eaten once. That's it.
That's insane.
And that's horrible. And see, but
I don't even know how you're functioning.
Me either. No, I don't even have an answer for that. Genuinely, even with the energy that I'm still in recovery from my weekend, this past weekend over in Atlanta. I got to Atlanta 12 on Saturday. I flew back out at 10:55 on Sunday. Had pretty much almost 2 days, whole days of just working. And then I got home yesterday. I don't know how it's happening. And it's not good, right? And I know that because I'm a huge proponent of rest. If you need to take a day to sleep, please take the day to sleep.
Do it, yeah.
Because the one thing about entrepreneurship is we're so focused on the bag. And you hear all these people talking about, I ain't no sleep in this and that. Let me tell y'all something. I'm going to sleep. Okay? And because what I don't want to do is not be here to finish the mission.
Right.
Because I didn't do what I was supposed to do. Right. So health is very important in the entrepreneurial space, because especially when you're always on the road, you know what I mean? Like right before we started this interview, I was out doing a final walkthrough for our house. It's 8:25 and I haven't cooked a thing for dinner. You know what I'm saying? And now it's low key a little too late to eat. You know what I mean? Unless you eat something decent.
I will say this: the time of day does not matter when you eat. I know this is a shock to everybody. Your body does not know what time it is. I'm gonna say that again. It does not know what time it is. Now, don't get me wrong. You don't want to break your sleep realm. If you go to sleep, sleep.
Yeah, like once you said, I'm sleep.
Right. And don't get me, like you said, rest, it's actually the first pillar of success to developing the body. It's rest, nutrition, then actually training or working out.
Nutrition part.
Exactly. So you need the rest to go ahead and develop your growth hormones, to develop recovery, all that good stuff, and stress levels. But do understand that, focusing on getting enough sleep is perfect, but you need to make sure that getting that nutrition in as much as often as possible in the span of time that you have. Give yourself your digestive system 2 to 3 hours to go ahead and digest the food. However, though, nutrition is key. Try to eat food. Your brain relies on carbohydrates. Your body needs fat to actually burn more fat. You need protein to retain muscles on your frame. The more muscle that you have on your frame, the more fat that you burn at rest.
Right.
You know what I mean? Even if it's a situation where you need to snack on something, you're better off snacking on protein rather than snacking on anything else. Yeah. So even if it's like a Slim Jim or chicken breast
a Slim Jim.
Or even a fried chicken strip or whatever, I know it's not the best option, but it is protein, So
I love a Slim
Jim is go-to.
I love a Slim Jim. Shout out, hey, Slim Jim. Okay, we love
us right here.
Listen,
quick.
Pull up on us, okay? Y'all better pull up on Diesel. Sponsor him first.
For real.
Because he the one who actually knows why it makes sense. I just like the taste. I don't know why it makes sense, but I'm gonna go with it. And now that he said it, I'm going to go and buy a value pack from Costco. I'm going there. Yeah, I'm
There's better options, not just that.
I mean, I understand, but I literally feel okay. if I eat a Slim Jim. I ain't gonna eat one every
Protein,
day.
yes.
I'm not gonna eat one every day, but I'm okay if I'm in a spot and I'm in a bad spot. I'm like, y'all need some protein.
Snack on some protein.
I'm okay with getting a Slim Jim.
I'd rather you take those steps.
I'll take that.
What's going on, y'all? It's your man Matt, aka Big Moves from Big Move Studios. Just popping in real quick. Let y'all know what's going on behind the scenes. As the mad scientist behind the .Ugly Trooth podcast, I'm responsible for making a decision and say, hey, this episode is too long, this episode's too short, we gotta do X, we gotta do Y, put this title here, put this title there. So, as the evil genius that makes this happen for my dear Koach K, I am responsible for letting y'all know, hey, we're doing a part 2 on this one. The conversation is not over. Don't run and find something else to do. Just grab a little snack, sit right back down, tune in for part 2. Right here, The.Ugly Trooth Podcast on YouTube. Coming out on them audio platforms real soon. Y'all soon come. Check the show notes. We might already have the link out. Peace and love for God. If you have a podcast and you don't like sitting in front of the computer, or you do like sitting in front of the computer, but it's taking too much of your time, stop doing that. Hit up Big Move Studios right now. Go to this website, bigmovespod.com, iambigmoves.com. Book an appointment. Let's talk about it. I'm helping Kels. I can help you too. Hit me up. Let's do this. I solve problems in podcasting so you don't have to. That's bigmovespod.com, iambigmoves.com. Holla at me. Let's do this.